What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Link Up. We got Derz and Efrum. We got qualifiers for the World Cup that just happened. We got Holland scoring goals like it's nothing. We got England not letting them score goals like they're nothing. And some upcoming teams who haven't been to a World Cup. So, yeah, let's get into it. First off, say what's up, Derz.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, so Holland. Let's talk about Holland. That's a generational run right there, I would say. Norway hasn't qualified for the World Cup since 1998. And wow, what a convincing way to do it. Winning every game in a group with teams like Italy. Definitely wasn't expecting Norway to really be so strong coming into this little qualification round for the World Cup. I was definitely expecting Italy to top that group, but Holland, Odegaard, and company just really gave it to them. 16 goals this tournament, double second place, which was Harry Kane with 8. Yeah, I mean, of course, it helps when you play against. I think it was Moldova. They beat them like 11-1. He definitely got a lot of stats on that game, but I mean, nonetheless, Italy played the same teams. Estonia played the same team. So anybody could have done it, but Holland did it. So I think he scored every single game. Uh, just carried that team, even when Odegaard got hurt. And they qualified for the World Cup directly. So we're going to be seeing Norwegians, maybe in Guadalajara, and maybe some of our cousins will get with some Norwegians out there.
I hope so. I hope so. There's some bad things out there, low. But yeah, I mean, as far as like Norway actually having a chance at the cup, I know it's their first one in as long as we've been alive, 1998, our birth year. Um, what chances do they really have? I mean, besides Italy, there wasn't really many major teams in their group. But 16 goals is still, he's scoring for fun out here. He's doing it for City. They have Oscar Bob. They have Odegaard. They have, world class players. Can they be a dark horse for the World Cup? Can they do something? What do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we definitely need to see them up against other teams. Norway didn't qualify for the last Euro, so we didn't get to see them in that tournament and really be able to have a good analysis on them per se. So definitely a team to watch. Do I think that they're going to go on a run? No, but who knows? I mean, Croatia made it to the World Cup final in 2018 against all the odds. So who says that Norway can't, get sneaky semifinal in there? But do I think that they're
Yeah,
gonna win? I don't think so.
they could be the next Croatia. They could be the this year's Croatia. Who knows? But I mean, Holland definitely has the skills to pay the bills. Can be the team to make it. Would love to see them do good. You don't need a full team of stars if you have something that works and just keep scoring goals the way they've been scoring. But speaking of scoring goals, England didn't let a single goal go in. Now is that just their defense putting in mad work, or them as a team, or just not really having much competition? But I think out of all the teams, England is definitely one of the most well-rounded. They got people on the bench ready to play. They got the most. What am I looking for? They got options. They got a solid team. They still got clean sheets with a lot of their youngsters playing O'Reilly, Quanta in this last game as fullbacks. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with just the overall team and having Declan Rice, Bellingham, Wharton, very defensive minded players, uh, and having Bellingham to kind of have that freedom of kind of cook whenever he wants. You have Harry Kane up top. You got options with Eze, uh, Bowen, Saka, Rashford. It's going to be a tough choice for the boss. Who do you really? What's going to be your starting 11 going into that World Cup? But something they could really count on is how strong their defense is. I mean, they don't have a crazy goalie, Henderson. I mean, he's good, but um, for the likes of Courtois, Allison, like I wouldn't say he's at that level. I mean, he plays for what, Crystal Palace. He plays for Crystal Palace. Um, Center backs. Who do they have? Dan Burn, Harry Maguire, Stones. Like they're not Van Dykes. They're not Marquinhos. They're not huge center back names. It's crazy how they went just clean sheet after clean sheet for the whole qualifications. I mean, we always see England, uh, always come in with a strong team, qualify. Obviously, World Cups, finals, things like that is where like they kind of, they get a little iffy. They get a little, what's going on with England when you expect them to perform, they don't tend to perform. They got a new manager now, so maybe it's a big difference. Let's see how Tuchel does. But Harry Kane's really informed, especially with Bayern. So they're going to be coming in strong. And then you just have a bunch of other stacked players playing for really good teams on that England team. So they're looking like potential favorites so far. But from what we know of England's past, they tend to kind of choke when it comes to these big tournaments. So is this finally their year? Can they keep the clean sheets going in the World Cup? Can they be scoring with like Harry Kane, and keep that defense nice and solid? If they do, then I don't see why they don't have a chance at the cup this year. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I guess the clean sheets that they've had this whole run isn't indicative of what really is England. Um, I think their group was fairly easy for them, with Albania being like the stronger team in that group, and Serbia. Off the top of my head, I don't know much offensive power that Albania has. Serbia, you know, not really the strongest of strikers or wingers that you'll see. So I think partly it is because they had a relatively easy group. Um, and I think it's also this is Tuchel's kind of first go at the team. He came in for basically right before the World Cup qualifications. So this is just a New England that we're seeing. Um, and he's doing a good job. I mean, they haven't received a goal in the qualifications. They did. They have lost under Tuchel, I think, against Senegal as just like a friendly. Um, that's the only game that they've received a goal under Tuchel. Um, so yeah, I mean, personally, it's hard to say, right? Because I don't see England as this super defensive uh, country. This country that's very very well suited defensively. You look at their goalies, who they have is Henderson, or they'll put Pickford at goal. Not necessarily your Courtois of the world, your Alissons. And then you look at their back line with players. I mean, they've been trying out a lot of new players. Like you mentioned, they do have the depth. They do have options. Who I see probably is going to be Stones more than likely alongside somebody else. And their fullbacks pretty strong nonetheless. But yeah, I just don't think that England has been tested yet. Same situation with Norway, that we haven't really been seeing them being tested ultimately. And I think that's the only reason why we haven't seen them struggle defensively. But who knows? I mean, anything can happen under Tuchel. Different ideology comes in from mostly club or only club experience, bringing a fresh new look at England. A coach that's not even English; he's German. So definitely going to be a good. Definitely England is one to watch. Not so much because of I mean they're England, right? Everybody wants to watch them, but on top of that, you add in the new coach and the whole his whole philosophy. I think is very different compared to what you'll see most international coaches have. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's been trying out different formations, different players, and everything. So yeah, I think England. I mean, they have to win the World Cup eventually, right? They've been working towards it in the last couple of decades, and I think this is their year. To be honest, they're one of my
Yeah, and
favorites.
you don't really see, like you mentioned, England is they're not very known to be super defensively solid, or when you think of England, you think of how much options they have up top. You think they just have too many people to choose from. They're gonna score, But yeah, we've been seeing the opposite. Surprisingly, they're not to go out perfectly without allowing a single goal. Not the England we're used to. Maybe Tuchel's bringing in some, getting them defensively right. But typically, you think of England, you're like, bro, they got shooters for days, So very a little different there.
It was weird though because Southgate was definitely a defend first kind of coach who would have very boring games and just try to win games 1-0, end up 0-0 or 1-1, very tidy in the back. But ultimately, I think Tuchel has a better system which allows them to essentially attack to defend, essentially, right? Like you're not going to be receiving goals if you have the ball. And I think Tuchel has brought that into England. And I mean, who knows if they could get Jude Bellingham back into form, maybe even Trent back into form. I still don't believe in these center backs, to be honest. They're like you mentioned, they're not like Van Dijk's or prime Ramos's, right? They but if a system works, a system works, right? Same thing with like Spain. Spain's really good defensively, but if you look at their defenders, it's Kubarsi, Laporte, Lenormand, players that are good, but you don't think of them as world class center backs. But yeah, I mean, systems work and systems will win you games. So that's definitely what's helped England get to this, I guess, perfect record heading into the World Cup.
Hmm. Something I do want to talk about is my boy Sobel Sly, man. What tragic, tragic. Um, does everything for his country. Becomes the youngest captain for his team. You want to see him take his team to the World Cup. It comes down to one last game. All they got to do is come up with the tie, and they have the tie. 90 plus 6 minute. Uh, Kelleher just boots it from their half, and they end up getting a scrappy goal, but a goal nonetheless, and a goal that took Northern Ireland to potentially the World Cup, but for sure knocks out Hungary. So it's just tragic to see. Because you want to see, Soboslai's been Liverpool's best player. I want to see him do something with Hungary in the World Cup, see what they could do. Him and Kirkes, but it just sucks. They were looking so good. They were looking so, everything was looking right. If Portugal wouldn't have lost against Northern Ireland, then did we forget to mention? No, no, Scott. No. Um, yeah, if Portugal would have never lost that game. It would have been a whole different game. Hungary would have for sure been in it, and we would have seen Zoboslai in the World Cup. But um, it's gonna be like that. Kelleher got his team into the World Cup. They haven't been in it. I think for I don't know how long, to be honest, but it's been a while. Another team that kind of just came up like that was Scotland. We see Scotland, we see Robertson, McTominay, who you mentioned got a really big glow up. They're looking pretty good, for them taking to the World Cup, and I mean, I guess that's just how it is. Some teams make it, some teams don't. It's good to see some teams going in after years not being able to go to the World Cup. It's good to see Scotland. I was wanting Robertson. They've always been close. It's good to see them coming in. Now with McTominay, who knows what they could really create, if they could be a trouble or a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, I mean, hats off to Northern Ireland. They stood up when they had to. They clenched those two games, and uh, now it's on to the next one. See if they can really make it. But Soboslai, I mean, he's young. Oh, is he like 23? He's gonna come back, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna just look highs forward onto that next World Cup. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that's everyone's dream. Take your team, your country to the World Cup. So I know that's only going to leave him with hunger in his eyes. I hope that makes him even a bigger beast than he already is at Liverpool, and just um, see this. How can we learn onto the next game? And yeah, until we got to do it again. So I'm sorry, Soboslav, you're watching this. We love you around here, but head up, King. You're gonna drop your crown. But yeah, any other
Yeah,
teams?
the North Ireland one is interesting because, right, like you mentioned, they were basically knocked out going into this last um, little 2 game span. Right, they had to beat Portugal and Hungary. Portugal, who I think at that point had like a perfect record, had beaten everybody. Obviously, one of the better nations currently. You really didn't think North Ireland had much chances, much fighting chances, to be honest. Troy Parrott, though. Troy Parrott clutches, gets 5 goals in these 2 games, scores all of Northern Ireland's goals. Definitely going to have a lot of. He probably had 10 kids over the past weekend, just based off of those performances. I've been watching this guy, though, for a while. Troy Parrott for AZ Alkmaar last season. He had a really good season. I don't. Um, this season, 14 games, 13 goals already. So I wouldn't doubt that this Troy Parrott guy is going to be joining a Premier League team or definitely a Champions League team next season, following his last season's form, coming into this season, continuing it, potentially qualifying for a World Cup. If he does qualify for the World Cup and has a good World Cup, definitely watch out for Troy Parrott because he's going to be somebody to watch going into next season. He definitely deserves a move to a better team. I mean, being a Northern Ireland guy, Irish guy, he's definitely going to be more in favor of joining a Premier League team. So definitely watch out for him next season. But yeah, I mean, as Hungary goes, I think Hungary has definitely disappointed everybody because going into that Euro, they were one of the dark horses, one of the teams that everybody was hopeful for, and then Georgia ended up taking their spotlight. So 2 very underwhelming performances going into two different competitions, right? The Euro and the qualification for the World Cup. I think Hungary has definitely disappointed so much, and it's not Soboslay's fault. He's carrying that country. He's doing everything that he can. So yeah, I mean, definitely more to come, but his teammates need to do better, essentially.
Hold on, my food's here. I'll be back.
But yeah, so anyways, going on to the CONCACAF, we have Guatemala getting knocked out of the World Cup. I think that was a bit disappointing in my end. I really hoped for Guatemala to qualify for this World Cup, and they couldn't. It was unfortunate. They had a definitely relatively easy group to try to qualify for this World Cup, but they lost to El Salvador starting off this qualification round, and then they tied to Panama and to Suriname. They still had hopes coming into this last little game week, and they lost to Panama, ultimately canceling their possibilities of qualifying for a World Cup for the first time. I don't know if they've ever qualified or if they have qualified once a long time ago. So it was heartbreaking for Guatemala. I really was hoping for them because I have a Mexican coach, but ultimately it couldn't get done. On the other side, though, we have Suriname qualifying for a World Cup potentially for the first time ever. They're playing currently as we're filming, and I believe they are playing Guatemala. So Guatemala has nothing to play for,
Yeah, they can't
and
even pass them up if they tried.
they have nothing to play for. So essentially, Suriname uh, really has it made for them. Um, Currently 0-0 as we talk, and Panama is winning. So Panama is qualifying directly as it stands. But if Suriname can beat Guatemala, they'll jump them definitely. On the other side, we have countries like Curacao currently qualifying for
Yeah,
the
bro,
World Cup for the first time.
they qualified with ease. I mean, they went 13-3, like goals for and against. And I mean, I don't remember the last time I seen Corozal in the World Cup. Typically, you see Jamaica or Trinidad Tobago topping that group, but let's see if Curacao has you know. I'm curious to see what they're going to bring to the table. Same thing with Haiti. I
Yeah,
mean, you typically don't see Haiti topping any group, but Hey, above Honduras and Costa Rica. I mean, that's solid performance.
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing now is just more knowledge, right? A lot of people are finding out like, oh, you have double nationality. Your mom is Haitian, or your dad was born in Haiti. Come play for Haiti. Before, people really didn't know about stuff like that. They didn't do their scouting well enough, and now we're seeing a huge influx of, I guess, foreigners, if you want to call them that. They are technically citizens of these countries, but they're qualifying now. They're helping their countries qualify for their first ever World Cup and stuff like that. So this is amazing. It's ultimately going to raise the level of everybody. Mexico and USA and Canada have struggled a lot because when they're not in World Cup qualifiers, or sorry, when they are in World Cup qualifiers, they have a lot of what you would I essentially call mediocre teams. And now with their level increasing, it's making the competition better. So who knows what this will be for the CONCACAF come 10 years, 20 years. We're going to start to see countries like maybe even Jamaica. They get a lot of players from England because they have that dual nationality, Haiti from France, and so on and so forth. And it's just going to ultimately boost the region, and who knows, maybe we'll see a CONCACAF win the World Cup one day.
Yep, that'd be nice. I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, it's going to bring the level of the skill and the competition a lot higher. So that's only going to raise competition and the performances of teams. Especially for the Concacaf, you typically just see Mexico and USA topping them with the newly included Canada. But yeah, I mean, shout out to those Central American countries. And I mean, typically, not known to going far in the World Cup, but we'll see if they bring something to the show. If not, years to come with more players coming in. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think as far as like favorites and things like that, we talked about that on our last like World Cup topic. But yeah, I mean, England's looking strong, Germany's looking strong, Spain's. I mean, your typical favorite teams are looking good. It's good to see some of these countries finally getting the opportunity. I think they added more positions or slots for the World Cup for this one, right? They changed from 32 to
48, I want to say.
48 now, which is, I mean, that's more games for us to watch. Uh,
That's more
maybe
opportunities
it's
for smaller countries to play,
yeah,
to get that
more
recognition. I think
eyes,
that's
more
huge.
eyes on them. I think it brings more money. I don't know. It's a plus for me. We've seen it in the Champions League. No one's complaining. Why not do it to the World Cup? More countries to the table, the more the merrier. I don't know how the players feel about playing more games, but that's something you guys are gonna have to DM him about. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think that I don't know. If there's any more I mean, there's still qualifying games because of the repechajes and the team that were on the yellow that didn't make it directly. But I think we'll let you guys. We'll update you guys once every team is qualified. We should probably do like a predictions, I guess, for World Cup early predictions and doing right before, and then just see how well we did or how bad we did. But
Yeah, once we get the
yeah,
groups though, because we can't really say like
yeah,
how far what the country's going to go if they ended up in a group with Portugal and England and France.
yeah. So once they do the whole
The
draft or
draw and
whatever you
stuff.
want to call it, the draw. But yeah, I mean, poor Mexico. I need him to do good. I need him to do good already, man. They don't got much time. They don't got much time. They got Tormiga now, so let's see if they can start cooking with some chivisas now. Um, but yeah, besides that, I mean, anything else you want to talk about? There's
No, I mean ultimately, uh, we would love to talk about more about these countries and stuff, but we don't know what's going to happen as far as who's going to qualify. Europe still needs to make the draw to see who's going to go head to head. We could talk about that once that comes around. But ultimately, I think that, like we said, 48 countries going into this World Cup is going to be really interesting. Hopefully, by then, next summer, we could get some sort of live stream or in person things that we could do since the World Cup's going to be hosted in the U.S. Maybe we could go to LA sometimes. But until then, we'll keep you posted. We'll try our best to continue the content, and always we appreciate everything you guys do, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff.
So yeah, let's make it fun. Did we say who we thought we were gonna win the World Cup last on the last video?
Yeah, we kind of talked about who had the
We did
best
talk
depth, who
through
had
it,
the
right?
best midfield. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right, no, we'll save it for the group stages. All right, you guys are going to have to come back to watch out the video for our predictions on that. But yeah, this has been your boys, Derz and Efrum, with the link up. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed any bit. If not, it's all right. I won't hate you. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.